Hey y'all, welcome back to the Real and Refined podcast with Shawnee and Jess. I totally stumbled over refined. I can't get my life today. Y'all,
It's real and refined. Y'all know what it is. It's cool.
and caffeine
And
is showing up today.
I'm actually
Like,
really jealous of you right now.
don't be.
My mouth is parched and dry, partially because of the topic of this episode.
Oh yeah.
We're going to get to know each other a little bit better, and y'all are going to get to know us a little bit better too.
Oh yeah, on a deeper level.
Yeah. So this is like kind of just it's a girl chat conversation, but
It
it's also
is.
like a little bit of a Q&A.
It's really giving y'all like an introspective on who we are as people. There's some questions that people have had that, I mean, if you don't know us, you probably won't ask, us personally.
Yeah.
So we've gathered some questions here and we're going to ask each other and you're going to get your answer today.
my chest. Okay. Well, did you want to start? Do you want me to start? How did you want to do this? Did you want to do you want me to go in on you, or because I want you guys to be able to follow what we're talking about. So I think if we just get one out of the way and then do the other person.
I agree with that. How about, so you start on me. Okay.
Okay.
Hot fire. Sweating. I'm sweating.
Everybody wants to know.
I know.
Are you single?
I've gotten this question so many times. No, I am not single. I haven't been single for about 2 years. I got married the day after Jessica's birthday, in 2016. So yeah, no, I'm not single. Mm-mm.
Okay, so how long have you been in this relationship? What is it?
So I've been married, like I said, 2 years. Actually, he was one of my first real boyfriends. We started dating when I was 14.
Okay.
And then we kind of broke up for 2 years. It was in my 20s, like early 20s.
Okay.
I try and say when it was, but then I always feel like I'm wrong, so I'm not even gonna lie. But we broke
Somewhere
up
in there.
We broke up for about 2 years, and then we got back together after I got out of a relationship. And months later, he was like, "Yeah, this is it." It was like Easter Sunday, actually.
When he
proposed, it was like the weekend of Easter, so maybe that's Saturday.
I was there.
You were.
But I don't remember when,
Yeah, I was like, what are my friends doing here? It was you and Tiana. Who FaceTimed Deja?
One of us did.
And I feel like somebody FaceTimed Lauren too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I hope I'm not missing anybody as far as my girlfriends go. It was like,
There were a few people there.
there were.
And family.
Yeah, and then his friends, Cameron, Montevante, his brother, his mom. He proposed at my house because, when we were in 7th grade, he proposed to me in the same spot with this amethyst stone. I mean, of course it was fake, but so he tried to reenact the same thing.
Why didn't I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't ever talk about it. I don't. Yeah, keep it to myself.
All right. Okay. So for the people, I guess that have. It's okay.
Y'all.
She's hot. She's hot.
I'm listening. I'm
For
ready.
the people that follow us and follow you on social media, some might ask, where is he? Who is this mystery man? I see the ring, but I don't see the man.
Yeah. Before I answer that question, it's funny. This one guy thought I was married to you. He was like, I got it. I know.
I figured it out.
I never see him. And I'm like, why? He was like, because you're married to Jessica. And I was like, stop.
That is probably the most wild thing ever.
He did research, took pictures of certain dates. And I was like, he really had a whole hypothesis going. If I don't see him,
y'all,
then she's
I mean,
married to
I
her.
know we take a lot of pictures together and we do a lot of things
Yeah,
together, but
no.
why on God's green earth would you think something like that? That is so dumb.
It had to be a joke. It had to be a joke.
It was probably a really good joke.
Yeah.
But I mean, if someone were like really dumb and we're just like, let me click on Jessica's page, let me click on Shanice's page, they'd be like, oh, they go together.
And I feel like you would know.
No, actually, someone else though.
What?
Someone asked me. They were like, so
No.
do you and Shanice live together? I was like,
why would you think that?
It's like,
I need
no.
to understand. I need to understand.
Like,
no, like we just kind of make time to see each other.
right. We
That's what you
prioritize each
do
other as friends.
with friends. Like you just make time. We have other friends that we go see. Do you think we live with them? No. Do you think that we're dating them? No. Like people be trying to like manifest things.
piece stuff together.
Ew. Stop. Okay. What was the question? Oh, why don't you see him?
Mm-hmm. Where you at?
He's at home. He be minding his business. So essentially, y'all are gonna think I'm so petty. So we got into a fight like maybe like a year or so ago. And I told him, I was like, you ain't got to worry about it. You'll never be on my social media ever again.
Oh.
And I wasn't like, I'm really like, I try to be true to what I say, like all the time. So I don't ever post him. Like, it's just one of those things where I know he's there. My friends know he's there. Our families know like what the deal is. But yeah, I would like to, but that's just not where we're at right now.
Got it. Understood. So,
what? I think it's actual sweat happening. It's a wool sweater. Mm-hmm.
She's hot. This is the wrong episode to wear a wool sweater.
I
just
know,
saying.
but it's 37 degrees outside.
It sure is.
So
and it's like sleeting
Mm.
low key here in Texas. Like
that drive home.
I need you to pump the brakes on that. But yeah, so did you envision marriage for your life at this point in your life, like right now?
I can say when I was younger, I wanted to be married. By 21, like I wanted like kids and all of those things, but as I grew older and where I am now, knowing myself, I wouldn't envision marriage for me just because of, what I'm trying to do in life. Not to say that, it was ever a mistake or it's something that like I regret. No, I just think that.
So no regrets.
No,
just.
Oh no, not at all. I feel like everything that we go through in life is for a purpose.
Yeah.
So if we don't go through it or if we don't appreciate it, then that's kind of, you're missing out on the benefit of growth.
Yep.
So
I agree.
So yeah.
Okay.
I didn't expect it now. Like I wouldn't see myself in it now with who I am, but in the past I could say yeah.
Yeah. So like what was your, I guess, your idea of a perfect relationship then versus your idea of a perfect, I don't want to say relationship, a perfect, I say perfect loosely.
Yeah, like our
marriage then versus now. Yeah. Then
I think that my dream was to like have a home and kids and like, a family, so just creating a family. That's what marriage looked like to me. That's what the perfect relationship looked like to me, having a tight family unit. But now I see that nothing can be perfect, but my desire for it would be to have a cohesive bond with every part of my life. That's kind of what would make, a marriage perfect. Is it falling into place with everything, like with work, with friends?
Okay. I was going to say, so your marriage fitting like a perfect puzzle piece into the rest of your life.
Exactly.
And not like something that's like mismatched
like, like an oddball out, like, I have a life here and then I'm married at home.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't think that's a good balance.
My idea of marriage was always like, I think a lot of girls have done this. As they've grown up, they kind of envision like, oh, yeah, like when I'm 25, I'm going to be married. I'm already going to have one kid and I'm going to be working on the second kid. I'm going to have my job. I'm going to have a lot of money. I'm going to be living a good life. And that's actually not
I always
So
envisioned
true.
like what my car would be. Is that weird?
Your
Like
car?
my car. Like I always wanted like this Porsche Cayenne, or I wanted like some type of like luxury vehicle. I just saw me like,
That's what you.
girl,
The car?
like I swear, like the car was like, oh, I can't wait to see what I'm gonna drive. I'm be rolling. Well, I wanted like a truck, to be honest.
Like a pickup truck?
like like a Ford, like a F-150,
Like an SUV?
like a F-250.
No, like an actual truck.
like a truck. Like I
Wait,
wanted
how
to
old were
drive.
you
Girl,
with this vision?
I was 18 with this vision of an F-150, a husband, and some
Anyone
kids.
that knows and sees Shanice right now in this moment, tell me if you can see her in an F-150.
No,
Ever.
No. And then like I matured and I was like, I'll get a Porsche. I'm good. I'll have a baby Lexus or
So
something.
you just hopped like 3 whole tax brackets.
Girl, I was like, I'm tripping. Where's my Lamborghini truck? I'm sleep on myself. I was really trying to be a Texan, y'all. That's what it was. I was just trying to like fit the mold. Because we didn't come from Texas. So
You're right. Yeah. No, I
Oh.
feel that.
Yeah, so my vision from back then is way different than it is
Than
now.
it is now. That makes sense. I
Mhm.
mean, that just ultimately means growth.
Yeah.
I always say ultimately.
You're catching it. We listen back on our podcast
We do.
and I say like a lot.
Yeah, y'all like do something on our social media page. If we overuse
Stop
words,
us.
make us stop, because we get so comfortable and so in our zone sometimes that we'll just like
And we just back and forth. I'd like, and you'd be like, and I'd be like, yep. And you'd be like, ultimately. Like, and it's just.
honestly, truly,
And it's too much. We
it's
use
bad.
it about 20 times in 15 minutes. So, yeah, we need to stop that. We just need to recognize what it is.
We do. So help us out though, please. Please.
Like do tally marks or something.
Mm-hmm. So what would you say were are your biggest struggles navigating married life versus single life, I guess?
Well, it wasn't until like I was like a year deep in my marriage to where like I saw what I could change for the better.
Okay. Within yourself or within the marriage or
Within myself.
Okay.
Because I feel like two whole people have to come into a marriage to make the marriage whole. You can't be like, oh, whenever I get with someone, it's going to be bomb. Like, no, you already have to be bomb by yourself.
Right.
And then the other person needs to be secure within themselves and whole. And then y'all come together and you make a life together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I was single, I did a lot. Like, I feel like I had a lot of fun. I traveled and, I was still getting to know myself. Gosh, wait, before I get off track, tell me the question again so I can answer it correctly. Because
You'll go off.
I'll fly.
Your biggest struggles in dealing with marriage and going through marriage at this point?
Yeah, so my biggest struggle is I feel like when I was single, I didn't take enough time for myself.
Okay.
And so coming into the marriage, it's like you have to, or not you, but me, I had to really change myself a lot. Like I had to
almost like you flipped a switch or something. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, and now I'm married. And it's like, it doesn't really.
Yeah, nobody tells you that nothing changes, right? Nothing changes, but there's another person's expectation on you. So now it feels like pressure, right? Like, because as a woman, I want to submit and I want to make him happy. And whenever things and so I'm saying over a year is when I started like noticing like, I said like a lot. But I started noticing that things weren't the way that I desired them to be.
Okay.
Because I allowed my desire to make him happy, like overcast my happiness, right?
Got
it was almost like I forgot about myself. And then one day I woke up and I was like, I don't like this. I don't appreciate this. I would rather do this. And so I started becoming an advocate for myself, but it made me more combative, And
right. Because you're like, almost like you're fighting for your, sounds dramatic, but like fighting for your life.
Well, yeah.
Your own
it is.
Truth. You're fighting for it within the marriage, your identity within the marriage.
And that's why it's so important to be whole before you get into him, because then you bring who you are into your marriage and you're like, so this is who I am, and then you're bringing yourself, and we're going to create something that works for both of us. We're not going to suppress what you like and suppress what, I enjoy, but we're going to emphasize those things, and we're going to build on the strengths, but we're also going to make sure that those weaknesses that we have, that we're building on those too.
Right.
But when you come into a relationship not fully knowing yourself and not being ready, and I say ready with quotations because you don't know until you're in it, but you're gonna go into something unsure of how to get a solution if you don't know yourself. Like, you're gonna go into the marriage thinking, oh, I can do this, that, and the other, but essentially, if you don't know what you want, then your argument, it's gonna, you're
gonna poke holes in your own argument.
Yeah, you're gonna find yourself in a place where you don't know how you got there.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I think that's a super good point. I also think that sometimes we get caught up in the idea that, like, oh, someone can complete me, and so you come and, like, kind of like what you said, you'll come into a situation where your glass is half full and their glass is half full, but even if you pour into his glass or he pours into your glass, there's still not enough left for them to sustain themselves. So you have to I think life is a journey, and I know myself more now than I knew myself a year ago even. Yeah.
Literally like a year ago.
3 months ago. Okay. Yesterday. But I think even if you don't know yourself completely, if you are willing, I think that's important. If you're willing to tap into that and see yourself and understand who you are through each stage of your life, then it's easier for you to melt your life together with someone else in the marriage form, You
have to be willing to unpack those things that make you uncomfortable. I feel like you should do it while you're single. If there's something that you don't like, figure out why. Because if you marry somebody who likes something that you don't like, at least you'll know, like, I really don't like smoking, but this is the reason why I don't like it. So I understand that you don't want to stop, but here's going to be my solution to the problem. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Like, so you can't
you're not just like blowing, complaining and nitpicking.
It stinks. Like, what? Be quiet.
It's not enough.
Spray some air freshener or something. Like, have a solid reason for why you don't like things, why you do like things, why you're, into certain things, or what your passions are. I could go on for days about what you should know. Point.
Well, you kind of touched on this a little bit, but what advice would you give to a single someone out there, pre-marriage or maybe contemplating marriage or engaged? Like, would you offer up any advice for them?
All I would really say, outside of everything that I just said, would be to make sure that the person that you're willing to marry is someone that's compatible with you. Don't just go for one part about them, like if it be their looks, or if it be their job, like how much money they make, or just the persona of who they are. Really get to know a person, because marriage is forever, or for as long as you make forever. And I don't know, like, I just feel like it's so important to take the time to just get to know yourself a little bit more, because you can't just be ready, but you can prepare yourself for living with someone else, and for compromising, and for understanding, because you're going to have a lot of compassion and a lot of forgiveness. So, I would just take the time out to do things that make you uncomfortable, and read some books. I actually read books about marriage before I got married. So I asked myself a lot of questions. I didn't go to like a counseling.
So in hindsight, would you have done that?
Prior to,
now that you're 2 weeks in, 2 years in,
2 weeks in, should still be in the honeymoon phase. But I think I would have, because it would have given me some more insight on like why certain things like are triggers for me.
Oh, yeah.
Because oh my gosh, like there's certain words you can say to me that I will like give you the death stare. Like,
you did not just say that to me.
Who are you talking to? It ain't me. Like, so I wish that I would have, because triggers are a big thing. Like, because you don't know your triggers until somebody like flips that.
And somebody flips the trigger, yeah.
And then you're like, and then they're confused and you're shocked at yourself, because it'll happen in a relationship where you're in it long term. Somebody's going to press a button. They're going to hit a nerve. They're going to hurt you. You have to be mature, you know, and you have
that is so like such a just blanket statement, but it's so true. Like if you lack maturity at any level, but especially at the marriage level, it's like, you're making this 10 times harder than it has to be.
And you got to live with that person. Remember that too. So whatever you say and what you do, you're responsible for. So, and I actually listened to India Irie before that, and so that's where I got that from. Oh, I love her. She's just so
she's like my like soul
right
sister,
like
know?
I love India
Brown
Irie.
skin.
Shout out to her. She was talking about me, okay? But seriously, she gives you life lessons. The things that you say and the things that you do, you live with, not the other person. So even if you're mad at them, right?
Yeah.
But if you pop off and you say something crazy and they never forget it, you live with that, because you have to be like, man, I did say that, didn't I? Like the little
jab.
Yeah. Like people like. You don't realize how much you hold on to when it comes to words that people say until you think about it 5 months later. And you're like, wow, that really that stung a little bit, you know, and you find yourself trying to live up to it.
Right.
Or you're trying to be something, you know, like you're trying to move away from that. Like, oh, you can't cook well, so you're trying to like take cooking classes or whatever, and nobody's ever said that to me. Okay?
You stress trying to cook.
Yeah, like you're trying to like live up to that. You know, people don't realize what they do. Like really, my thing was like, you don't, because I work a lot. Oh, and so I was listening to your podcast with Harold on the Truth Hurts plug.
Shameless plug.
But he was like, people in Dallas just go to work. And I was like, dang, I've been doing that for like 5 years. I just wake up, I go to work.
Really good point.
And that was my thing. Like I was always working. Like I'll buy stuff for the house. I'll pay bills. Like I don't care, but I'm always going to be working. Like it's like something that's instilled in me. So I wasn't really doing like cooking. You know what I mean?
That wasn't like at the top of your list.
No.
You were just trying to get out and get a bag.
Yeah. And like
a legitimate way.
Like literally the legit way. I ain't got time for them.
Oh!
Oh my God! Oh no!
Tell him. Because that was
no offense to anyone.
No.
When I tell y'all this example,
at
okay?
all. Just for us.
This is just, it's real recent, right? Talking about getting a bag. So I recently got like invited to work this party where basically the girls wear little to nothing, right? And I was offered like 10 G's, but I so barely no clothes, and I had to do like things in order to like make this money. And so when I got this like text, I was like, what? Like, you want me to do what? You want me to touch what? What? For what?
And she sent this to me, and so my eyes were like, what? I honestly reread that several times. I was like, where's the joke? Like, where's the punchline? This is not real. But people really be out here.
That person was dead serious. Like, you ready to make this money? And I was like, no. I will be broke for the rest of my days. I mean, like, now I understand how girls like come up real fast, you know? It's like, so no, I just really can't do that to myself. It's not really the life that I live. So working was my thing. So what I was saying was that basically in the argument that him and I had, he was just like, you never cook. And I was like, because I work. Why you think your lights on? Like, I was just so mad. Like, because I was like,
what are you saying?
And that like hit me. So then like, you know, I tried to like overcompensate. Like I started trying to do little things, you know, but really if that's not who I am, then I should know that about myself. And I shouldn't beat myself up about it.
Absolutely. I mean, that's thoughtful of you to try and put in the effort. I think that shows a lot in any relationship, not just a marriage, when you're trying to compromise within reason.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't want to lose yourself trying to turn and transform yourself into someone that you know deep down is not really you. Like,
yeah, exactly.
If you want to just hook up breakfast once in a while, like, oh, okay.
Just be grateful.
Just be grateful and be appreciative of the effort that you're trying to put forward. But you're not about to be Martha Stewart out here. It's just not going to happen. No. Beyonce don't cook.
And she's fine.
And she was almost not okay, but she's fine now.
Right.
And that's all that matters.
I can't even use him as an example.
I know. They used to be like, anyway.
And see, that's enough. Don't air out your business. Like me telling y'all this, I mean, that's like a jab at myself. Like, yeah, I don't cook. Be mad. You don't live in my house. I will not have to feed you ever. But don't air out your personal business because people's perception of you changes. Yes, but you can't live that down. 5 years from now, when Beyonce's over Jay-Z's cheating or whatever, people are still going to remember him like as the unfaithful guy.
You were unfaithful at one point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to scar that man's image because of, a lapse in judgment, because he could be a totally different man. You know what I mean?
That's tough because I feel like I've done that.
Well,
but I think everyone's been hurt at some point in their life. And so you talk about it to somebody. It's not like I'm airing it out and plastering it for everyone to see.
Your friends, but you're not like putting it on social media or making a song about it,
But see, honestly, I don't know. I like how they came, because they overcame their problems and then they're like, oh yeah, we've been over this. Here's an album. Here's Lemonade.
Keep your private life private. Keep your privates private. Keep your business to yourself. I mean, and maybe that's me. That's why y'all don't see my man. That's why you barely see me in public, because I keep myself to myself, because here's my thing. If anything ever happens like between Tavarius and I, it has to stay between him and I, and then like my friends, right? Because I need help. I cannot do that. Like I cannot do it alone.
Right. Like absolutely.
I knew like if I wouldn't have had y'all during certain points, God knows, what have all panned out. Mental sanity goes out the window when you live with somebody and you're having a disagreement and you keep going over the same thing, right? It's like, I gotta get out the house. I have to do something. So, I mean, whatever happens between him and I, like the only time y'all will know about it is if it's a final, decision.
If it's done.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but other than that, like, why do y'all, why do other people get that advantage of knowing what's happening with you? Because most people will only speculate.
Yeah. I think it's just the mystery of it all. Yeah, it's just like I think you kind of used to be one way and then now you're not that way. So people are like, wait.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's true.
What's going on? It's intriguing. People want to know. People are curious. And that's just, I think it has a lot to do with just how the direction our society is going with social media and everything, just being out there. So when it's not out, they're like,
where's your life at?
Where's the rest of it? Yeah.
Right here. She ready.
So how do you think marriage impacts or social media impacts marriages or even your marriage?
I think, like, in a general stance, social media puts a pressure on any relationship, but marriages especially, because you got to have a huge ring. You have to have, to have a relationship that someone can envy,
something like aesthetically, like pleasing.
Yes. Like you have to have an attractive spouse. You have to be attractive. It's like there's a lot of new standards that social media puts on marriages to be a fairy tale. And I think that it puts a lot of pressure, just like with these television shows and how they're like kind of like reality TV.
Yeah.
How that messes up a marriage because there's like scrutiny. People are just like watching and they're commenting. It's the same people. I mean, it's the same for people who live for social media, because they're like, no, we have to go here. We have to buy this. We have to take pictures with this. And it puts this pressure to be something that you just may not be. And with social media these days, there's so many options out there. And I don't know how marriage was back in the day, but I can get a DM like at any time of the day from any type of person and like have that temptation.
It'll mess your whole life up if you fall into a temptation.
The whole thing up. And I mean, it's men too who go through that, or like, men like see all these different women on the internet or just on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's like, their minds get like captivated with this, this overly sexualized woman, and your wife is like not like
she's
that.
just a
right?
regular woman, and for some reason a regular woman is not okay. It's not
right.
enough.
Like it's just changed. I feel like it can change your perception of who your spouse is supposed to be, what they're supposed to be like. A man's supposed to give you this so you can live like this, or a woman's supposed to look like this so she can put it on you like that. Like it's like it's one of those things where social media can like really be a place where you can show your life, or it can be a place where it can destroy what you have.
If you allow it, if you're not mentally strong enough to take that on.
Yeah. So I think that social media just takes a big, it takes a big person to not allow that or other things to contort it, right?
So
to change it.
For what about the couples that are like, we don't have social media, or we have a joint social media because
Bruh.
do you think that's too much? Do you think that's just right?
I get so irritated with joint accounts.
It's like Jake, Ashley, Johnson. Like,
yes, it just like irritates me. Like, you're still an individual. I mean, I get it, but I don't. Like, I don't. Like,
so you wouldn't recommend that, or
no,
or completely falling off the face of social media.
Actually, I like the thought of falling off of social media. I would much rather not be on it. If we weren't doing this,
do you think that you could do that?
Me right now?
Just ever?
I mean, yeah, I could.
Okay.
I feel like given the right circumstances,
okay,
I'll put it like that. Yes, I wouldn't want to be on there talking to who. I got what I need right here. You mine forever. I don't want to see nobody. Who? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to be so like engulfed in your life. Like, I have great friends. I have a great husband. I have a great life. I don't need to be scrolling because my life is entertaining enough.
Right.
That's, I mean,
what a place to be in if you're able to really do that and appreciate that. And some people can do that. It's not impossible.
That's the goal.
I just think we get so, like you said, we get so caught up in it sometimes that it gives us a false sense of reality, unfortunately. But I think that just adds another stressful layer to any relationship, and marriages especially. But if you're mentally equipped for it and you are able to prioritize that one person in your life, I think it's fine.
I would, because I feel like in 2014, 15, whatever year that was, I was doing that, like, off social media. I didn't care about none of it. And I would love to get back to that place, like, to where I'm just on Real and Refined. And it's like, all right, bye.
Okay.
Gosh, that sounds great. So do you have any other questions?
No, I think you answered it. I hope I asked all of the questions that y'all are wanting to know the answers to.
Yeah.
I think you revealed a lot. We kind of got to know you a little bit better.
That makes me feel nervous. But
why?
More than anything, it makes me happy. Talking about myself in a general sense makes me nervous. But knowing that, something I might say may help someone out there, even if it's one person, that's really the goal and the purpose here.
Good. Well, I think mission accomplished in that case. Yeah.
Okay, so now it's your turn.
Oh, God. Okay.
Now I feel better, y'all. Okay.
Where did all this newfound energy just come from? Hold on.
Let's go. Okay. So, Jessica.
I don't know.
I don't want to answer, please.
Yeah.
What is your go-to line when you aren't feeling someone and you want to exit the convo or like dip out of the whole situation?
My go-to line?
Yeah. Like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I'm real good for not responding anyway. So if I'm trying to just exit a situation, a conversation in text at least, I just don't ever get back to you on that. Whatever that is, I don't get back to you. And I honestly, sometimes I feel bad about it because I feel like I'm evading the situation.
Yeah.
Or I'm like trying to avoid. It's not even like a conflict. It's just like that's just how I feel right now in this moment. I just don't want to deal with it. Like mentally, I'm just already like not there with it. So I don't go out of my way to respond to you because I feel like no matter what I say, it's going to give you some glimpse of like,
no,
maybe,
you know, it's not gonna tell you no. It's gonna give you hope,
right?
So you'd rather not.
So it's like I don't want to have to keep explaining like, oh, I don't want to. Whatever it is, I don't want to. I don't want to have to keep explaining that, so I just don't
say anything.
I just don't.
Just
so I wish I had a go-to line. Okay, so if I'm in public though,
yeah,
and someone's like, oh, you know, whatever it is that y'all niggas say, or men, sorry, men,
because everybody ain't black.
You're right.
Hey.
Anyone that approaches me on some I want to get to know you, you look nice type stuff. I'm very polite. I'm very nice, but I'm very like here with it. Like, okay.
Yeah, the fake.
Yeah, it's like, wow. Oh, wow. Thank you. If they compliment, I will say thank you. And then if they proceed to ask me a question or exchange numbers and I'm not interested, I'll just be like, no, thank you.
We can talk about that. You have to tell people how hard it is to not give someone your number. Like,
it used to be harder to not do that. Now it's easier. Now I just literally am like, no, thank you.
Dudes be so mad. Like, I remember, talking about it. Like, I just remember someone being like, what do you mean? Like, I don't have a phone number, sir.
But see, I'm tired of making up lies and excuses. Like, I saw like some quote or whatever, and it just said, no is not, you don't have to elaborate on no. No is no. So if someone said, can I get your number? No. See? I have a hard time doing that. I have to like fill it with like extra words that don't even make sense.
It's the niceness that makes you want to like explain to them.
But deep down, I'm a savage, so it's like, why am I being nice? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't really have a go-to line. It's just a lot of like smiling and like ha and like kind of ignoring what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'll say like ha, no, and then just kind of continue to walk away, and then they'll keep calling, and I'll just keep walking.
See, yeah, that works.
And until they stop.
I just thought about Drake. Nice for what? It just keeps going off in my head.
Yeah.
You gotta be nice for what?
I still need to take that advice.
Like, nice for what?
I think deep down I'm a nice person, so I try to
accommodate their feelings.
Yeah, but I don't want to be fake with someone. I want to be real. If I'm not interested, I just need to say, you know, I'm not really interested. You know, I'm just not interested.
And egos is too fragile for that.
Yeah, and I'm trying to protect the ego of a stranger. It's pointless. I'm not doing
cuss you out, call you out your name. Like, I just
don't
acting like
do that.
You know me. Like, I feel like we've been to enough places together where, you know, I'll ignore someone. Like, I'll literally act like I did not hear a person.
Oh,
that's
happens all the time.
Right back here. Like, hey, can I? Excuse me, miss. Can I? And I'll just. Like, as if I am deaf. Like, because I know myself. I'm like, if I turn around, I'm gonna smile at you. It's the first thing.
Right, it's your first instinct. I think I'm the same way. I'll tend to do that if I know they're a distance away from me and they're trying to get my attention.
It's just like
all of a sudden I just have no hearing capability and I just keep it moving. But that's probably
no comprende.
Sorry if that was you. Ever at any point, if I've ever ignored you, and even if I normally talk to you on a regular basis and I just ignore you, don't take it personally.
Don't take it personal.
Okay.
Let's see. Do you turn down a lot of guys?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Sorry, that was a short answer. I do. I think after going through the things that I've been through, I've become more selective. Also, I have a son. So I can't just be dealing with any old somebody, you know?
Exactly.
And so, especially, I think a lot of times I get approached just on social media alone. And so I'll look at your page and
see what you're posting.
I already know half of what I need to know, you know, usually. And then the other half is just, I'm a firm believer in, you have to be somewhat remotely attracted to someone that's interested in you.
You have to be absolutely attracted.
Right. Well, see, I think that's a dangerous line to straddle because I feel like if you're overly attracted to someone, it becomes, at least for me, it becomes a problem because now I'm letting it's the lust
factor.
And you might be a great person, but if your
physical attraction, I can't hear you.
If your physical features are clouding my judgment, then I can't even really get to know like the good parts of you on the inside because I'm just so distracted.
Because you look at him like, I'm gonna need you to touch me.
No,
stop talking.
But see, I don't want him to do that.
You can give
because
me a
then
hug.
then that's a whole other problem.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. She's right. It's too much. Like, and now this is really, really bad, but I always feel like a woman should be in a relationship with a man who's more attracted to her than she is to him. Now that's a whole different thing.
I don't know about that though.
I'm telling you right now. A lot of women ended up heartbroken or doing crazy stuff because they're head over heels for a guy who doesn't feel the same.
I don't want to say I would be head over heels for someone.
Well, not you specifically, but I know some situations.
I'm just inserting myself into the situation because at this point I'm here and I'm single. So I guess I'm just thinking on a hypothetical standpoint. I want there to be like an equal balance of attraction. Is that possible? Am I crazy? I don't think I'm crazy. I don't think I'm asking for too much. I think you should be like, I want you to like want me like I want you, like I want each other, like I want us together like all the time.
But
that's what I want.
Is it mutual? Like there's like, you know what I mean? Like there's seldom relationships where both of the people are like equally as fine, like together. Like seldomly do I see like people who
I want seldom.
Like
I want seldom. That's what I want.
But you can have
and you know what? I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna have.
You can have that.
Remember that meme where it's like, sorry, mom. It's like I can have the good dick in romance. I can have the good dick in romance. I can have all of that.
Better manifest.
I can have all of that. I don't have to choose one. I want everything
Mm-hmm.
together in one little package with a bow on top just for me. And
it can happen. It really can. I want you to be like one of those like. One out of every 50 people, I need you to be that one.
Right. Like the ones on Black Love on OWN. Not saying that everything is perfect in their marriage, but like I'd be looking at that like, yes. Like that.
I'm gonna watch that.
You need to watch that. Like watch both. I think it's 2 seasons. And I just be so inspired. I'd be in my feelings. I'd be like, yes. And then I'm over here single.
You know, but it's okay. Speaking of,
oh, did I answer
my
your
next question was, are you single?
I am single. Okay. I think this is actually a 2-layered question because people always say, are you single? Like someone asked me, I think yesterday, they messaged me and they're like, are you dating? I'm like, weird. That's different. But it's actually a valid question because I could be single and not ready to mingle and not looking and just focused on myself. Or I could be single and I'm out here dating. Like I'm getting to know different people or I'm getting to know one person, seeing if they can graduate to the next level or whatever. Yeah. So I think right now I'm single and I'm open.
And that's good.
And yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, we're just gonna. Do you have
I'm open. My legs are closed.
Boom. Edit that out. Do you have a type?
Okay.
Jessica has a type. Y'all, there's only one dude that I have met that doesn't look like everybody else that she has dated in the past. That's all I'm going to say.
Who? All right, tell me later.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it. I was about to do like a signal. Like when you go to sleep, what do you wear?
La.
Boom.
Okay, got it.
I can't. Really? Yes. He don't look like nobody. He don't look like nobody else.
So I don't think I have a type, but people have asked me this question in the past. Yes, you do. You hot? I'm hot. I'm about to take this hat off. First of all, I don't think I have a type only because I'm attracted to what I'm attracted to. So that could be any like face, color, shape, whatever. But okay, I will say this. Hold on. I will say when it comes to a situation that is more than just like, oh, like you're cute, I'm cute. Like if I'm dating someone or if I got into a relationship with someone in the past, normally they all look similar.
I lied, y'all.
Who you thinking of now?
When you play a video game and you're driving, Luigi.
I can't do this.
Y'all, I just lied.
Okay, well, that's actually
like more mature life.
It switched up a little bit.
Two of them look different. Like,
wait, what about my first? I wasn't in high school though. My first boyfriend, that was different. That didn't count.
I don't consider.
Let's
him.
not count that. That's
fine.
I
don't consider him. I rarely consider like first real boyfriends because my first real boyfriend was white. My second one was
wait, what?
Asian and white. Yeah.
All right. We'll leave that alone.
Yeah.
So I think I don't have a type. I don't have a type, but usually for some reason I answer to the same type of person. Yeah. Physically.
Yeah. Like you have but you know what? I can say a physical stature.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. Answer this question for me. I like the way you answer this question.
I can't say every guy I haven't met. I can't speak for, I'll say that she has a really good sense of like physique on a man. Like she'll like go for the one who has like the body of like have y'all watched 500?
300?
What's 500?
What is that?
Have you? Well, they have 500
the
muscles.
Fortune 500.
They have 500 muscles starting from their trapezoids down to their toes. And is that what it's called? No. Y'all, if you watch 300, you'll see the type of men who they don't wear clothes because their muscles are shirts, if that makes sense, right?
So you're saying I have a good... I'm normally attracted to someone that has...
Who's fit. Okay. That's what I'm going to say. Who's fit.
That's not maybe it's on purpose. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe maybe.
But I will say, okay, rewinding back to a conversation I had with my friends at a younger point in my life. We all tried to predict each other's lives and how it would turn out. Do you remember? I told you about this.
I do.
We were at brunch one day and it was like me, Sydney, Michaela, and a couple other girls. I can't remember everybody. Sorry. But I was like, yeah, I feel like you're going to get married at 31. You're not going to have kids till you're 35. And this is before I had my son.
I remember.
So I tried to predict everything. And then they were like predicting me. And they were like, I don't remember what they said about me being married, but they were like, we see you as someone who's like really built, like an athlete.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't know.
This was like the Shops of Legacy. Am I right? This was
at Breadwinners. No?
Yeah, it was, but
somewhere around there. No.
I swear it was the Shops. And the only reason why I feel like it is because, well, it was me, you, Sydney, another girl. Who else?
That was my birthday one year. I know. That's what it was.
So this is a different situation. So yeah, there's many. Because then we had a texting conversation about this too. It was me, you, Tiana, and Lauren.
But see, did any of that come true though?
Who got
yet?
Who did we say? I wish we could go back.
We should have like saved these conversations. But no, I think to answer the question, I do not have a type. I just usually pick the same type of person. And then I guess type could also not necessarily mean just physical.
Same
it could
physical
mean
attributes.
It could mean
like personality. Oh yeah.
But the personality that I'm usually attracted to is just like real, like just rude and standoffish and weird.
It's so attractive, like I feel like like I don't want no nice dude. I don't be friendly.
I think because I'm nice. Maybe that's what it is.
It's
I just
nice
figured it
balance.
out. The light bulb.
It's a balance.
I'm nice. I don't want you to be nice to me all the time.
Exactly. You need to be a little like I
don't like you. Okay, fine.
I like that.
Bye.
I like that you don't like me. I love you.
But no, yeah, I think that's probably been my problem in the past. I think I've changed that though. I don't talk to people that are mean anymore.
No, you don't. You really don't. Let's see here. Is there anything you regret in your dating life?
Yes.
Unpack that for me.
Nope.
You have to.
I'm zipping up the suitcase and I'm shipping it back. I don't want it.
We're not returning to sender. We're opening up the package.
Let's just say
Listening
you might not be thinking about what I'm thinking about, but once you realize what I'm thinking about, you'll understand why I don't want to talk about it. But
I'm scared
I've
now.
made in my dating single life, I made some. I didn't. Nope.
Can't do it. Okay, we're gonna.
I just didn't have a good. I didn't make a good decision. So everything else I just said before that, you can just. I didn't make the best decision, and I think I don't want to say I regret it because it taught me a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I still feel like I think I learned the most from that situation. Oddly enough.
Yeah. Okay. So really, no true regrets.
It's not a true regret. Kind of like piggybacky.
Piggybacky. Yeah, same as my 500. It makes sense. I understood. Y'all understood.
Backing up off of what you said.
Y'all understood what 500 was. I'm mad at myself. I'm tired. Lord. Piggybacking off what I said.
Yes, about having no regrets.
Yeah.
That was a growth situation, and that was a major growth situation for me. And that would be, if I were to have a quote unquote regret, that would be it. But
yeah,
I don't know. I think regret is just equivalent to growth.
Yeah, honestly it is. If you don't go through it, how will you know? Like how you know how to get through certain things, like, and then
or not to do it again, or not to do anything remotely close to that.
And then the good thing is, so I always believe that God leads people to you, who are going through something that you've already been through that you can tap into, or he's sending people to you that are preparing you for what you're about to go through next. So it's always good to be in your moment, regardless of how much you regret it or think that you regret it or think that you dread it. You just don't know who you're affecting and who you're helping and who's helping you.
I think I helped him. Helped myself
that's
too.
a fact.
But I also helped him.
Big facts.
So
what's your passion? That's a really good one.
Talking.
Yeah. Like advice giving, talking, or like
just connecting with people.
Yeah.
That's like a weird passion.
Yeah. No, I'm the same.
Just connecting with people.
I like
good
that.
people.
No, I feel like that definitely is like a strong point of yours, like creating relationships. I never used to consider it networking until people started saying like, oh, that's a good networking trait to have. But I feel like it's so much easier to create connections with people, and like that's how you really affect people,
right? And it makes me feel good too, knowing that there are people that like just get me or understand me, or I understand them. And yeah, I would say that's like one of my passions, and it's something that I used to be like afraid to do. But now I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Yeah, that's probably my passion.
And are you like a creep on Instagram?
I can be. I can. Yeah, I've gone deep in some stuff, like swiped and then clicked a like, and then got to a new page and was like, oh, what's this? Scroll. But that's rare. I don't usually do that. But if I'm
depends on
sometimes I just go down that black hole.
I think I've caught myself in that like twice, where I've just been like deep in it and I don't even know how I got there until I almost like a photo.
So yeah, that's actually kind of scary.
Terrifying.
That's like never happened to me, but if I keep doing it, I feel like one day it's bound to happen.
Like you're gonna like it.
But like creeping on what? What are you? Just anyone or like, someone specific?
Like maybe Michael B. Jordan. Just seeing like how his life went.
Oh, I click on like realistic people like that are in my life.
He's in my life.
Like you're in my life. Let me see what's going on with you.
We just did a movie together. Oh, see, yeah, I feel like in my past I did that. Like, if I was, it would be like a dating situation, right? If I was like dating a guy and like I was just like scrolling to his page, I go to like a like from a girl, and then I'm like on her page, like that's really investigating is what I call that.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, not really being a creep. I'm
That's stressful.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
more of an
like that.
investigator. Like, I was more of an investigator, but
My investigating days are over.
yeah, through,
I'm gonna kill somebody.
through.
I
don't have
mean, no, I'm
time for
not.
that.
No, I'm not. I would never do that. 'Cause
She
I'm
would
nice,
never do that.
but I would literally drive myself crazy. I would not do it again. No.
Yeah, no,
So
that's
I'm not too much of a creep.
yeah,
I try to like mind my business because I want people to mind theirs.
exactly. I actually practice that. Nope, not gonna go there because that has no concern of mine. I don't need that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I wrote that.
What?
If you end up in a serious relationship, would the guy have to be worried about TJ's
My
dad?
son's dad.
Yeah.
No, because I think if that were to like, I would, I would choose someone who is right for my situation.
Yes.
Right. So I would not allow something like that to infiltrate what I have going on.
Exactly. It's like you just put a stop to it before it begins. Like, you
Yeah.
understand.
I don't do like well with like really like ghetto situations and like dramatic traumatic
Conflict.
stuff. Like I don't operate that level, period. I can't go there with you. And I used to try to go there. It's like, I'm stressed. I can't yell at you because I don't yell. So if I'm yelling, you know it's a problem. I don't want to ever have to be in a situation where I'm being brought to a whole other level that I don't even need to be on.
Been there.
So that wouldn't be an issue for me, I don't think. I think whoever I choose would check it. Like, so you thought you were going to act. No, you're not about to do that.
You don't need to be jealous, bruh. You had time. So are you afraid of commitment? Seeing as how you're single and you don't have to be single. This is a choice, y'all. This isn't because it's not an option. So,
okay, more on that. There are options, but I feel like there are options that aren't right for me. So I'm like I was saying earlier, I'm a little bit more selective now.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say I'm afraid of commitment.
Yeah.
I'm hesitant because of my past experiences. I am hesitant to go fully like 100% with someone because I feel like I'm waiting for the ball to drop. I'm waiting for the catch. I'm waiting for something to happen. So I think I'm more thorough with my vetting process when it comes to people that I interact with.
Okay.
And so if I go through everything on my list and you made it out of that list, then it's like, oh, okay. But so far that hasn't happened. So
there's more.
I'm hesitant.
On that. There's
what?
more.
What? Did I just try to skim by?
You did. Because see, because you have a list. That's one that we need to unpack on that, because that may come from, having a relationship in the past that you've seen. Okay, I don't want this, I don't want that, or that's just kind of a self-protection almost, which is it's a situation that you should talk about. Not it doesn't have to be on this platform.
I get it,
but definitely something that's interesting, because not saying that you haven't come across someone who was like the one or could be the one, but recognizing, you're taking your time. Like, is it because of something that you've dealt with before that you just subconsciously don't want to go through again?
I think it's the idea that I could be hurt again.
Yeah.
That causes me to hold back. And so I think sometimes I'll find myself in situations, or I found myself in situations where that person really liked me. And for a period of time, I was interested in them, right?
Yeah.
But I found a way to put the whole thing on halt and just shut it down. Because it's like, oh.
It feels you're getting too close.
Right. And it's not that I don't want to be close, because I like that. But then it's that fear that maybe it's not actually everything that it looks
and you don't
like.
Like it. That's really, I mean, it's good that you can recognize that, because I think that's something that's a mental block. That's like you're guarding yourself, right?
Right.
And in most ways, I feel like that's good. And in some ways, I feel like that could harm you too. I mean, because it kind of gives me the mindset or like the thought of, you know, as soon as something good happens, this is me. Like something good happens, and I'm like, what's about to happen?
Right. Like this is too good.
Something
Like
bad is about to happen.
Exactly.
And so like that's kind of what, you know, the gist that I get. Like, oh, he's so great. What's wrong?
Something right.
Yeah.
And usually the whole intuition thing helps. Usually, sometimes I ignore it.
Oh my gosh.
But
don't do that.
I know.
Don't do that.
I've done it and it was a problem.
Problematic.
But it makes me a little bit sad because I wonder if I like passed up on situations that could have been like, even if it wasn't meant to be a forever thing, it could have been something worth going through,
like
that could have taught me, or taught that person. So instead of trying to find like the perfect situation, sometimes I need to allow myself to just feel whatever it is I'm feeling with whoever I'm involved with, and just allow it to go its course. And if it's meant to be something greater than that, then okay. And if it's not, then I think I have to accept that there are two outcomes in every situation instead of trying to make it one outcome. Because then I'm going to lose out on being with, you know, being around really good people or being involved with really good people.
Yeah, that's, I mean, that really gives me some insight on like some personal situations. We never realize what someone else has been through, right? Because the same way you've been through something on the back end and you're dating this guy, you don't know what he's been through, and you don't know if what he went through, like I was saying earlier, God brings people to you that prepare you for what you're going to go through, you know, or people that you can help because they're going through it and you've already been through it. And so it just kind of makes me think, because I mean, back in my day, but like, you know, I feel like back in the day, it was so easy for me to shut people off, you know, just to kind of
throw them away.
And I'm a throwawayer. Like, I'm a pro. I'd be like, ha, trash can, LeBron, Kobe, Allen Iverson, like just throw you away, because that was easier for me to not deal with you or to not deal with those feelings of whatever it was, hurt, rejection, fear, all those things. But I could have possibly missed out on helping myself for where I'm at now, you know? So, I mean, that just kind of, I feel like that's something we should unpack more, that we should talk about more. We need to,
because it's making me like sad right now, actually.
You shouldn't. Hold on, I need to speak life into my friend really fast.
What?
Because there are like adverse things, right? There are bad things that come from our decisions, but ultimately all things work for the good of those who love the Lord, right? So regardless of whatever decision you make, it's always going to work for your benefit. Always. So don't even be sad. Like, let the past be what it was. Whoever's supposed to come back into your life, whatever opportunity you were supposed to have, will always come back. Always. So never regret that, because eventually whenever you're ready for it, it comes back tenfold. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Thank you.
We back. Oh. You know what, guys? I think that that's gonna be the end of our segment. We didn't have a name for this, you know.
We'll come up with a name, I'm sure. I think we really got to really dive in to each other in a non-relationship way. We're not together, okay?
We're friends.
We are really,
that's weird, y'all.
really good friends, and we just get each other. And that's just a good feeling to have, because then I can be real with you, you can be real with me, and now we're trying to open up to you guys a little bit so you get a background on who we are and what makes us us.
Exactly. I know, like, I can be elusive or whatever, but I honestly want people to feel comfortable to come and talk to me. Like, that's my whole goal. Like, we love people.
And like you were saying earlier, like, you don't know what people are going through, so you can't, people can't expect, you know, us to just be like an open book, just flipping the pages. Like, you know, we have our personal lives too, and you just don't know we don't know what y'all are going through, and so that's why we wanted to share. But at the same time, you don't know what we're going through, so we wanted, you know, to give y'all a little something. So I appreciate y'all listening. We appreciate y'all listening.
Yeah, we do.
Thanks for tuning in once again and taking a little bit of time for Real and Refined. Bye.
See you next time.